Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk, I'm an empath, and I just like to do these little daily talks on how I feel about things, how I see things, I take on things. Yeah. I get my data from music, media, books, and just tying it all together. Moving into cancer season. Today it's the 22nd of June. I got cancer in my first and second house, and in Western. I track both Vedic and Western astrology, and I'm always encouraging people to travel or to navigate around their own charts. It gives you a level of self-awareness unparalleled by anything else, that I've found, and I speak from my own experience, a lot of times, and I just have a pretty broad spectrum of experience, and I think the people that I identify with the most are the ones that have had the broadest spectrum. And I feel, when I think about that, I feel, I look at a big old color wheel, and it has all the colors on it, from black to white and all in between, right? Black is absence of light. Light is love, right? So when I look at the dark and I think about all the experiences that I have, we're in that low vibrational dark. I was raped when I was a baby. There's other things too, Well, the point is, I don't tie myself to those experiences. Every 7 years all of our cells rejuvenate. We're not even the same person physically, but it's our energy field that remembers those hurts and those pains, So I identify with people that have had, terrible things happen to them in life, I just found out Steve Colbert. I never really watched the Colbert Report or anything like that. And when he got his late night show, I watched him a little bit. I'm like, oh, he's freaking clever, and he's smart, and he's funny, and he's been on my radar a little bit, but I've never been like a daily watcher or anything. I just like smart people that say smart things, and some of the things that he said I can identify with, and that's how connections are made. So I just found out yesterday his story about losing his dad and when he was young and having to be his mom's cheerleader, and I can relate to that. Just because he's a dude and the circumstances are very different doesn't mean the emotions and the frequencies are the same, A lot of people cause themselves a great deal of dissonance, static. In the olden times when you had the 3 channels and you turned the knob, in between there was just static, black and white, just white noise. It's all there was, right? And people could, and a lot of that comes from tying the hope to an outcome. I believe in manifestation and universal law and all that stuff, all that esoteric stuff. But so many people tie so many different outcomes, to a dream or a vision of how they'd like to see something, whether it's a relationship with a person or an idea about a business. I keep coming up with ideas. I just can't find my time and my place, It's so weird. I hear it's now, but I've been hearing it's now for like a year, so I will always keep my hope, I always have hope. The day that I have hope, or I run out of hope, uh-oh, I'm not just in trouble, we all are. So, this is one of my ideas. Straight people like rainbows too, because they do. Anyway, so, when people tie an outcome to an idea, that caused me more frustration than anything else. So when I was a little girl, I thought, because I'd go to school and I'd hear about people's parties and stuff like that, and we could never afford them, and we lived in like shacks and stuff like that, so we didn't want to bring people over for a slumber party to that, cockroaches and stuff like that. Then kids go back to school and tell, and then hurt feelings, being insulted. That's why I always learned how to make be the funny one to make light of situations like that. Because I lived in situations didn't mean I liked it. I just always make the best of things. This is Cancer. See, this is why it's important that people follow their astrology, because I didn't know, where my placements were 2 years ago, and why I felt kind of ways and stuff. And then I feel like, oh, where's this Cancer? That's a really emotional freaking sign, and we're just in Cancer's feeling and season, and now, that's my first and second house, self, so yeah, I'm gonna be freaking extra nurturing to myself at this time. So yeah, my emotions are prevalent, and that's why I endorse astrology. So when I was a little girl, I used to think that, maybe people, because I think so much of other people, I thought that they think so much of me, so like birthdays would come around, and I'd be like, thinking everywhere I turn around there's going to be a surprise party for me, and, maybe that year, even Mom forgot, oops, that happened in time or two, that's why, I think that's why I like birthdays so much, because it's your day. Anyway, today's not my birthday. Focus, Marjo, focus. I haven't been this emotional in a year. I haven't been weepy like this. I haven't been in my feels and feeling like having to go back and resolve stuff. I haven't felt like that because I'm good, I'm still good. What this does is remind me of when I meet somebody out in public, that is kind of hostile or a little aggressive or whatever, or bitey or snappy or sharky or snarky or whatever, that I can remember that, I wonder where Cancer is in their chart, and what's coming up with them, because a lot of people, they tie their ideas to outcomes so much that if anything else happens, they're devastated. Yeah, that's what happens when people freaking relationships end and people commit suicide, or their careers end and people commit suicide. It's just that they can't see their life any kind of different way. I drank for years and years even though I didn't want to. It was because I couldn't see my life without it until you take it away, and then you start getting, people get stuck in loops, mental loops. People have gotten stuck in all these mental loops, and they got stuck in the humanity, and they've lost their spirit. I think religion leads us to spirituality. I think it's all, all these different interpretations of religion, depending on where you are in the world, they all said it's all energy, love. Everything is promoting love, which to me is energy, constant source. It's like plugging into the electricity, it's energy. So I would, I think it's important to dream and, think about possibilities, but don't dial in and set on to one specific outcome. Because so many times another outcome is so much better for you than what you can imagine for yourself. It's true, I do. I underestimate myself all the time. But then sometimes I I always know, well, I need a job, so I'm looking for it when I was welcome into corp to what W-2 land. I'm not so welcome anymore. People are snobby, they're judgmental, and no, you can't work here. We don't want her working here. I'm pretty smart, very qualified. So, what does that tell me? I probably don't want to work at a place like that doesn't want people that are smart and qualified anyway. So, I guess I could just say I dodged a bullet there. Now's a good time to not, get stuck in remorse about things, that you feel like you're mad. Focus on all the things that you have, and don't focus on stuff that you feel like you're missing out on, because the stuff that you're missing out on, dude, the stuff wasn't for you. It wasn't. I'd want to be, as far as you know what? I think I'm about done for today. Because I just really wanted to talk about, the importance of people not tying on to the outcome of any situation, good or bad. And as far as manifestation and stuff, it's always in but everybody's manifestation to not think about, even if you're worried about it, don't think about it. Do whatever you can. Be where your hands are. I used to do that. Sometimes I still do when I'm extra fired. Be where my hands are. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And I think that's where that's what, you know what, I'm going to finish up on this. I was talking to Mom yesterday about obsessive OCD. Now, I use discipline so I don't do things. You know, I'm big on discipline. And sometimes, like, I've seen people, like, tap on things, you know, do the things where they have to, like, hit on, you know, and then do the whole, whatever their tics are. They call them tics. I call them whatever their motivations are, right? And I was thinking about it, that I was wondering if these folks are dialed in, because I think, you know, schizophrenia is just people and listening to their tuition and things like that, and that's why they think it's voices in their head, and they just don't know how to articulate it because their vocabulary is lacking. You know what I mean? The voice told me to do it. You know, all that stuff. Now, when they tell them to do terrible things, you got to look at the whole frame of reference of you know of their programming in life and what led them up to that point to think. Because when people, good things don't tell you to take people's life. So if somebody's telling you to do harm to somebody, take something from somebody, hurt somebody, you know, God forbid, kill somebody, if somebody's telling you to do those things, that is not a positive entity. It's a negative one, and you might want to look at that. You know, that's when people need to ask for help, but they don't want to get in trouble, so they don't ask for help. And I forgot what I was talking about, so I'm going to wrap it up on there. I hope you all have a rad day. Peace!